Has it ever crossed your mind how the mentally challenged on our streets survive? Have you wondered how they manage to feed themselves? Where do they sleep? And what happens when they fall sick? Well, it takes a humble man with the greatest compassion, with a dream to help, and is living that dream through his actions. Nominated by several people who were moved by his achievements, we talked to Dr. David Abdullahi, affectionately known as the Mad Doctor, about his selflessness and his gift of hope to the hopeless. Aren't you, Doctor? How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great. Tell me about life in Gurugu.
Life in Gurugu is a beautiful thing. We share, we love, and we try to make each other happy.
Now, we want to know a bit more about your life here.
The residents of this place are usually people who are very poor and destitute that nobody really wants. We've taken anybody who comes in, and we share our lives with them.
So this is a sanctuary?
I don't know if you'll call it a sanctuary. It's just a place of love. That's what I would call it.
What inspired you to set up this place?
I am the only survivor of 11 children. 10 died out of poverty-related diseases. My father was a leper. He'd been a farmer before and a traveler earlier on, and then he got leprosy and he couldn't work anymore. Then my mother was a semi-beggar. She didn't go begging in the streets at all, but she had virtually nothing. I come from one of the poorest families in Tamale area. There were nights when we didn't have supper. 1 meal a day was difficult. That was one of the reasons why I went into the streets. And I survived by eating food on dunghills and being a street boy and doing whatever I could do just to try and keep body and soul together. So while I was growing up, I decided that if it was ever possible, I would like a place where I could reach out to my neighbor. They say, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And my neighbors were and are still the very poor and destitute people of our society. And I thought by doing medicine and getting a firm place to stand, I would be able to reach out to those who were most in need in my society. I cut off all sources of funding and threw myself into this job. And I've been here since March 1991.
What are you doing here? What are you doing with this place now?
Here we have a clinic where we can reach out to people. We operate it free of charge. We give medical care depending upon the availability of drugs, and we supported terminally ill people. And then we also gradually started putting up more rooms around this place for the very destitute who had nowhere else to go.
How did the food program start?
The food program started when we had enough donations to continue this. I remembered my own self. I was a street boy, and I would be very grateful for just one good meal a day. So when I had the opportunity to offer people a good meal a day, I thought, wow, these are the people I want to address my attention to. And we started it on the 6th of January, 1992. And believe it or not, we have not missed a single day. Even today, they have gone on the rounds.
And I understand you have a Christmas party every now and then. How did it start?
I told you earlier on that my father was a leper. I went to the ministry to ask if there were any lepers in town whom we could give a Christmas party. And they said there were only 14 cases of active leprosy in this area. So I said, okay, give them to us. And when I went on Christmas Day to pick them as I was asked to, there was not a single leper to be found. The food had been cooked, everything was ready. So I remembered in the Bible we are told that if you have a party and you invite people to come and they don't come, you go into the streets and you just bring in anybody. And that's precisely what I did. I went to the streets, I got the mad people, I got the beggars and anybody who was willing to come, and we gave them the party. And since 1989, we've been having a Christmas Day party, and the number has been rising. This year, we're expected to host about 3,000 people.
Baba Isa,
Ah,
how are you?
I'm fine.
Tell me about Shekinah Clinic.
Oh, Shekinah Clinic is very good. It's a very fair place to live as a patient. Even it's more than government institutions.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Have you been in any government institution?
Oh, I'm a nurse at Ankapo Leprosy Service before.
Oh.
I have been a nurse at Ankapo Leprosy Service before for 3 good years.
How did you happen to come here?
Oh, yeah, I don't have anywhere to go. To be honest, I haven't seen any of the family who take care of me because of the disease. Don't have a chance to further the education or to work at anywhere.
Do you like it here?
It's a very nice place to live. Even we are more than in the paradise.
I see.
By the grace of Dr. Abdullah.
Have you known him for long?
9 months now.
9 months?
Yeah.
What sort of guy is he, you think?
He's a very merciful, very kind. He don't have any discrimination. Those who have nothing at all, how do you call them? The destitute. He makes us something great. He's very kind, very merciful to us.
If you had the chance to thank him, what would you say?
Oh, if I had the chance to tell Dr. Abdullah, I wish him long life, good health, and prosperity in all his undertaking.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
On the average, how many patients do you take care of a day?
We have 2 clinics. Each of them will take between 50 and 60 patients a day, Monday through Friday. If you add the 2 together, we still see an average of 120 patients a day.
For all kinds of ailments?
Whatever anybody comes to us, although we are very strict on a first-come, first-served basis. No matter who you are, if you come, you have got to wait for your turn, unless you are one of what we consider the very important people. If you're a leper, if you are blind, if you're a cripple, if you are mentally ill, if you are a social outcast in any way and you get here, you become our VIP patient.
We talked to the colleagues of Dr. Abdullah, who volunteer their time freely for this wonderful cause. Wamaula Kaipe.
Pyong tum la nawun zo ka so kam zami ngum bang no kallar kina shifte tetalne no tinye sonsum ka kana pe onye ashe onye sonsum
Yelma tun shala antum bi
ndela antum la tiata tuma fes ma ba pama kan ndore ti ka ko ne pe ka da ta tizang ma pe tiata kan ta tumle tiata tuma na to assiste non sarayeshin ka to son trainema kan setra yella kan ne to tiata
Agbaza yelno.
ndela tumongone ndela OPD doctor tumama ka tun yi ka shifte konko tumanyele tun shel ne to be samban kaman soy bami onyang bashir ka kano san on to bolmana ntiya kemte bang ayen ne sham nsom bon ko klo bi hagishi ne so pielle be ko nyom borshel no nyos so pielle
Yelma Dr. Abdullah ni bieni beshembe.
Dr. Abdullah ni la ne foson kalera barnuma oso psete barnum ma on je was antum lego o mabe atamino tumne tumama zo misha ay mukhate atazankana ko sonte
Dr. Tumamai wula kanyele.
docteur mon ko borman kaman so ku zon ye to mursir lana ko ne to nan ko pierna dantu no nan sham o mi nye kan nirba ay maltaba o borlo en nation kan nirba ay ma lannon tabin toase
Ne kpama na dance.
ami
yes thank you.
Good evening, doctor.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
What brings you together?
Well, I come here to work at Dr. Abdullah's clinic, and I come twice a year, and I've been coming ever since 1996.
What sort of man is he?
Well, Dr. Abdullah is a very impressive man, maybe the most impressive man I've ever met. He's completely honest and very, very competent. You can recognize the basic humanity in him and the passion he has for what he does and for helping other people, which is what he lives for.
What do you think of the work he's doing?
Once again, it's very impressive that one man can do so much. When he initially started, he had no funds, and yet he's managed to build up these 2 large clinics and help thousands and thousands of people. He's got an educational program to educate brilliant but poor students. He helps a leper colony, a group of lepers out by Bimbala, I think it is. And it's just the fact that people saw what he was doing and were inspired by it and wanted to help him that has allowed him to do all this.
Thank you. You're a Christian, yeah?
I'm trying to be.
You're trying to be. And I noticed on the compound you've got a mosque.
Yes.
And I saw the Star of David on one of your buildings.
Yes.
What's that supposed to mean?
The people of Islam and the people of Christianity can all find a home in this place. Our aim is not to convert anybody to a religion. We want to convert people to the free and unconditional love of God. And God is beyond religion. So we have any symbol of a religion that people can belong to and still feel part of this place.
What sustains you?
My faith in God and my love for my neighbor. I get a lot of energy when I'm able to love some people.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Amazing, impressive, extraordinary. Take your pick. There are not enough adjectives to describe this incredibly modest man. A real modern-day hero who champions the cause of the ignored, the downtrodden, and the forgotten. As Mahatma Gandhi said, we must become the change we want to see. Thank God for Dr. David Abdullahi.